Hey guys, it's Jill and welcome back to my booktube channel. This video is going to be a full spoiler reading vlog and I'm going to be reading Problematic Summer Romance by Hazelwood. I just picked this book up today, but it released last Tuesday. That would have been May 27th, I believe. But I do not know too much about this other than that it is the second book in the Not in Love series, and I believe we have an age gap here. I don't know what the age gap is. I definitely heard it at some point, but I now forget what it is. But I'm just going to go right into this. I have not even read the blurb. It's so impressive to me that Ali can come out with so many books this year. She's literally coming out with 3 by the end of 2025. But anyways, I'm going to start this and I will talk to you guys very, very soon with initial thoughts, feelings, or any predictions. Also, I did say it at the start, but this video will have full spoilers, so if you don't want to hear or see that, then do not continue watching this. Okay guys, I'm really not far into this at all. I'm on page 32. This is in the middle of chapter 4. So we have our FMC. Her name is Maya. The MMC, his name is Connor. Maya and Connor, they have like this friendship. They were best friends, I guess, which is a little bit odd because they have more than 10 years of an age gap. He is in his 30s and she's in her 20s. I don't think they said the exact ages yet, but Maya is Eli's sister, and Eli is from Hazelwood's previous book, Not in Love. But yeah, so she's his sister, and for whatever reason at the start, she really is not interested in going to Eli's wedding, which is an all-expenses paid trip in Italy, so I don't really know what her problem is exactly, but it does seem like she's trying to avoid Connor. And based off of what we know about Maya, it kind of seems like she has a pattern of running away from her problems in her personal life, like when she was just going to university. She went to Scotland, and then she also did an internship. Later, she went to Switzerland. So it seems like she maybe doesn't have the best coping skills in terms of issues that she has in her personal life. So then we end up in Italy for this wedding. Connor and Connor's ex, Avery, is there, which they're not together anymore, but for whatever reason, she's his +1, I think. And then Maya is there, of course. And like I said, they used to be best friends, but when he started dating Avery, the start of that relationship really affected Maya and Connor's friendship. And it seems like basically they stopped being friends. And then Maya also made a comment to Connor saying like, oh, since you care so much about the age gap, like since we can't be together kind of thing. And it seems like he's kind of sick of hearing this because maybe he's also into her, and maybe he's kind of worried about how others would perceive him if they did end up going into a relationship. That's basically all I've gathered thus far, and it seems like Maya is just quite uncomfortable having to be in the same vicinity as Connor because I think she just is maybe sad and upset about how their friendship ended. And it also seems like she definitely wants more than just a friendship with Connor. So that seems like the main obstacle that we're facing, that Maya has to overcome, whether it be, well, it's a romance, so we know they're going to end up together, but exactly how, we're not sure yet. And I'm just hoping that it's not the case where Maya is basically having to beg him to be with her, because I recently read a romance where the girl was begging for the guy, and I just don't like when they do that. So hopefully Maya is not having to go that route and Connor can be begging at her feet for a relationship with her. But I don't know, we will see, and I'll update again very soon. I really don't like that they put this in. It said he was 17 or so and I had yet to turn 4, so she was literally 3 years old, 3.5, 3 3/4, whatever. Like, I don't like that. That's just weird. And then they were living under the same roof at that time. At least we have here, she's talking about Connor, and it says that she remembers him in the living room drinking beers with Eli, and she cannot remember him ever glancing my way or initiating a single conversation, which was a relief because it wasn't fun being young and feeling older man's eyes on her. So I guess like that's a good thing, and he wasn't being like a creepy, you know, weird guy, like trying to go for like a very, very young girl. It makes it a little better, maybe. not Avery wanting to join them on their little outing to the village. She literally just bombards their plan and she's like, hey guys, can I come with you? Well, they were kind of going on actually, I don't think it was actually a date, but it took a lot of courage for Maya to ask Connor if he wanted to go with her. So now it's going to be like a weird little triple person date thing. Not date, outing, I guess. I think I'm pretty much halfway through this now. I'm on chapter 21, page 190. And in the past timeline, Maya and Connor are fake dating because Maya's ex-boyfriend is very not coincidentally dating her friend, which is also her roommate, and she wants to make this guy Alfie jealous. And Maya was originally trying to get a hold of her brother Eli, but Connor ends up flying to her in Scotland and then helping her even though he had no idea about what exactly was going on. Basically all he knew is that she was struggling at the moment and he went to go help her. Even though he said he was actually going to see his stepmom, it's unsure whether or not he was going to see her at the same time, or I don't know. But during this time, it really seems like Maya is developing feelings for Connor, which Connor is trying to kind of avoid. And it's a little weird to me because Maya is trying to convince Connor that the age gap isn't weird, which in this past timeline, she's 20 and he is 35, which to me is definitely a weird age gap. I don't like that, and I honestly wish and would definitely prefer if the characters were complete strangers, didn't know each other in childhood, and then just met each other during the present timeline of them being, I think now she's 23 and he's late 30s or whatever it is. Honestly, at this point, I'm kind of just pretending that the age gap doesn't exist, even though that's a little hard because they keep mentioning it. But it just weirds me out that he knew her when she was a literal toddler and not even 4 years old yet. I do like Maya though. I think she's funny and witty. There's been numerous times that she's talking to someone, which makes me laugh. I think she is a little immature though, and even in the present timeline, she's trying to make Connor jealous, and it's just kind of playing games. It's also pretty clear that she's jealous of Connor's ex, who's also on this trip. Her name's Avery. I don't even know how this girl ended up getting invited to this wedding, but anyways, she's on this trip too, and I can tell that Maya is a little uncomfortable with that. She's trying to be friendly with Avery, but at the same time, I feel like Avery is showing that there's a little bit of unresolved feelings from her side between that relationship of her and Connor. There was a little moment in the water where she had to be saved, and Connor was the one to save her and bring her back up to the hotel room and everything, which it wasn't exactly said, but I'm sure Maya was a little bit jealous of the fact that Avery had that, I don't know, alone time, I guess, with Connor. Another thing about Maya is that she's a physicist. She did her undergrad and master's, I believe, and now she's trying to figure out whether she wants to work on the academic side of things or in the corporate world. But at this moment with the relationship, I feel like we're getting little crumbs. We can tell that he does random acts of service for her. For example, she went swimming one day and then she just realized there's like a towel out in by the pool or whatever, and I'm sure that was Connor that did that. He definitely takes notes of like her habits and stuff. In the past timeline, we see that he notices, oh, she has like all these post-it notes of the different options for post-grad, and he can tell just based off of like how they're arranged on her desk or whatever, which ones she's still considering and which ones she has kind of written off as a no-go. So I feel like naturally he's quite in tune with her, and we're just getting little moments between them in the current timeline, but I just want a little bit more from them, and I want to learn more about the relationship because halfway through I'm like, there's not that much that I know other than the fact that in the past she's pining for him quite a bit, which I feel like he's resisting mostly because of this whole age gap situation. I am liking it so far, but I wouldn't say I'm like obsessed with it yet. But I hope that the last half of this goes well, and I mean, I'll do another checkup before the end. Probably when I'm about 3/4 of the way through, I'll give you guys another update. I'm just at the chapter now when we find out exactly what went down between Connor and Maya and why they stopped talking. This was 10 months earlier. I'm on chapter 35, page 300. Okay, so I just finished that chapter, and I also wanted to note that after the halfway point, there were a lot more interactions that we saw of Connor and Maya in the past timeline, so we were able to understand more so the development of their relationship, well, I guess their friendship. But what just happened in this chapter here is that Maya basically confesses her love to Connor and he rejects her, so she basically is just like, screw you, and that's why they haven't talked for the past 10 months. The reason that this was even brought up in the first place, again, was because he started dating Avery, and she even said to him, okay, are you like in love with Avery? Like, why can't we have a relationship together? And he can't even answer it. So she's pretty upset because she's like, okay, so you're gonna end this relationship that we have and you don't even love this woman that you're seeing, and basically it's the whole age thing again. Yeah, that's pretty much all that happened, and now we're back into the present timeline. And based off what I'm saying, you might think that I'm not enjoying this book, but honestly I am really liking this, and we'll probably give it like 4 stars. I am really eager to see how it all ends, if it's going to end with the wedding and everything of Eli and Rue. But yeah, I do like this, but there's just different elements of it that I'm a little bit annoyed with, I guess. But so far I feel like I'm enjoying this book a little bit better than I was enjoying Not in Love, which I rated Not in Love 3 stars, and this one is a little bit better in my opinion. Pretty similar to Deep End for me thus far. Again, with Deep End I had some minor issues, but overall I read it pretty quickly and I really liked that book. So yeah, that is that, and I'm probably 3/4 of the way through this now, maybe even a little bit more, and I should be finishing this book very soon. I'll probably do my final check-in tomorrow though. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow with my final thoughts. Okay guys, I finished Problematic Summer Romance, and I'm going to be giving this one 3.5 stars. I would recommend this if you want a fun summer read with low-ish stakes in my opinion at least. So it turns out one night Connor has a revelation, and this revelation is that he is in fact scared of love, and he does deserve love, and he deserves love specifically from Maya. And even though he feels like there's an unequal power dynamic in this relationship because he's older and makes more money, which is all true, it seems like he's justifying and finally accepting the fact that they are kind of meant for each other. And I think there's 2 main reasons for this. The first one being Maya continuously saying, look, like, this power dynamic, like, it's okay, I'm okay. And the second thing being that he's telling her that she is going to be the one in charge of everything in terms of like the relationship progression and whatnot, not in terms of like finances and stuff. He doesn't mind taking care of her even though she's going to be making her own money. And basically he says to her that he'll be fine with any boundaries that she sets about the relationship. So it seems to me that after he's talked to her and made things clear on how he wants things to proceed, it kind of absolves him of any other guilt that he has associated with the fact that they have a 15-year age gap. There was some awkwardness between Maya and the ex Avery because, like I said before, Avery didn't seem like she was over Connor, and Avery actually catches the 2 of them together, but at the end everything is quickly addressed and settled. And along with Avery as an ex, I didn't really mention this, but there's also another ex who also works at the company. She now has a kid that she brought along to Italy for this wedding, and I felt like the addition of having so many exes in this situation was not really necessary. Like, maybe 1 would have been fine, but I feel like it just adds awkwardness and some misunderstandings that in my opinion didn't really add to the story. So I feel like I could have gone without having all of these exes around Connor. In terms of Rue and Eli's wedding, it turns out there's logistic issues. I guess there was a volcano that erupted, so it disrupted some plans in terms of the guests flying into the area that they were in, and they were kind of just like, screw this, we're just going to elope and have like a very small ceremony. And then later in the day they surprised everyone by saying, oh yeah, by the way, we got married this morning, and everyone was like, okay, so why are we here? I don't know, it's not that big of a deal, but I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a wedding scene because I do like reading the wedding scenes in books. I find them really fun, and there's usually a little bit of juicy drama as well. Overall, it doesn't really seem like there's too much going on in this book. I was a little surprised that it was set within just, well, at least the present day was set just in 1 week. Considering the title and everything, I guess I just assumed that they were going to be spending the whole summer in Italy. I do like Maya and Connor together, and I'm glad we were able to get a little bit more of that relationship development from the past and really figure out what went down between the two. I just am not a fan of age gap romances. I'm not completely opposed to them, but it's definitely not a trope that I'll be looking for specifically when I'm picking up romance books, that's for sure. And I know I said this in my other reading vlog of Deep End by Hazelwood, but I just don't really like her spice scenes. It's just something about them feels very unnatural and forced to me, which is probably an unpopular opinion, but that's just how I feel. But I will say there was some good tension between our main characters, and kind of waiting for that tension to break was fun to read. And overall, it's fine. It's 3.5 stars, kind of in the middle of the road there. I did like it better than Not in Love #1, but I wonder if we'll be getting more stories from these characters in this world. And if you've read this book, I would love to hear your thoughts on it in a comment down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this reading vlog. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more book content and vlogs. And I'll see you guys in a new video really soon. Bye!